Good morning, pilgrims. Here we are once again at a place that needs no introduction at the start of yet another world-class adventure. The Camino di Francesco from Florence, Italy, all the way to the Vatican in Rome. It will take me about 29 days to get there, and I've been dying to do this pilgrimage ever since I've heard about it on the Via Francigena from a German pilgrim at the Grand St. Bernard's Pass. Cannot believe that day one is finally here, and I cannot wait to get this started. Let's do it. So here we are at the starting point of the Camino di Francesco, the Basilica di Santa Croce. As you can see, I'm using a guidebook for this pilgrimage, The Way of St. Francis by Sandy Brown, which, by the way, I met him yesterday. He let me stay at his house. I crashed at his couch. He gave me the whole overview of the pilgrimage, and thank you so much, Sandy, for being so kind. While I was at the train station waiting to get my train back here to Florence, we met Maria, a Greek pilgrim that's just doing little sections of the Via Francigena. She's researching it so that then she can come back and do the whole thing. And it was just so surreal to be met up by all the pilgrims, especially here in Italy. I wasn't expecting that to happen. Last time you guys saw me was, when was it? About 2 months ago, when I was in Nepal doing the Annapurna and Everest Base Camp trek. Incredible trip that I did in Nepal for the very first time, and I had such a blast when I was there. After that, I went to Spain and I drove the Camino Frances in reverse with a 3D camera, which I brought along with me on this trip just to film all the highlights of the Camino Frances. That video is already live. You can go ahead and enjoy it. I highly recommend you use the goggles like the Oculus Quest 2. Sandy saw it and he was blown away by it, and I'm sure you will be too. So here, this is the starting point of the Camino di Francesco, and as you can see, you have two options. You can follow the original Camino, which kind of takes you through the city into the hills, or you can follow the new one, which follows the Arno River for the majority of the day. Today we have an easy 20-kilometer day following the Arno River to Pontassieve. It's going to be flat, but that will change tomorrow as we have a 1,000-meter climb. And then, you know, we're in the Tuscan hills, so now let's get day one started, guys. Let's go for it. Now, as I leave this busy city behind, it reminds me that this pilgrimage is going to be like nothing like I've done before. Not like the Camino Frances or any other, much like St. Francis himself. It's going to be more simplicity and solitude in the Tuscan hills with very little support. So this is more like the Appalachian Trail of Italy. Walking next to the river, cloudy day, low temperatures. I woke up this morning at 5:30 because the sun rises at 5:40, and I was out of my hotel at 6:30 just because I wanted to get the piazza clear. It's gonna be high temperatures. I'm walking, today is May 31st, so I'm walking in June. You know how I like to walk in low temperatures. If you don't know me, by the way, my name is Efren Gonzalez, guys. I'm a travel adventure vlogger. Done a bunch of caminos in Spain. I done the Inca Trail, the Lost City, some of the 7 summits. I walked the Via Francigena from Canterbury to Rome 4 years ago, a trip that really changed my life. Did the Appalachian Trail, just the first 100 miles, and then I also did the Annapurna and Everest Base Camp treks. Today is the day that I've been dying to say this phrase. I've said it a few times on other caminos, but here in Italy is Andiamo. Now, Efren, I hear you thinking, what is it with all these massive pockets that you have on you? How much weight are you carrying? Well, that is a long story that I'm gonna try to address as the days go by. But I switched my vlogging kit once again. If you guys remember when I started doing vlogging back in 2017, I had the Canon 5D Mark IV with a massive lens, a stabilizer, and then slowly as the years progressed, I made my way down to my phone on a small gimbal. Now I'm back with the mirrorless cameras. This one is the Canon R5C, which shoots at 8K, and as I mentioned before, I have the 3D lens and a massive stabilizer once again. So I have all these pockets. I'm carrying about 25 pounds, which is really not that bad if you consider that's what I had when I did the Camino, Portuguese del Norte de Ingles, and I walked from Muxia to Fisterra. Since on this walk, there's very little support in most of the stages, very little water and supplies. Of course, I'm gonna be carrying extra weight when it comes to food and water. So my backpack will be anywhere between 25 and 30 pounds, about 15 kilos. So I know, and I'm in the mountains. It's gonna be a good trip. Now, as you can see, the sun just came out, and so did my hat, my brand new hat that I bought. Unfortunately, the previous one is out of stock, and I don't think they're gonna make it anymore. Started using it in 2017, it's been 5 years. And my last one, I left it behind in Nepal. I gave it to my guy, Gopal, in the Everest Base Camp trek. Now, there are a few water fountains along the way, but that's about to change, especially in the mountains. So whenever you come across one, fill up your water bottle just to make sure. Ooh, yes. Best thing about it is you can drink it without having to filter it. I've been walking for a while now. It is 9:30 in the morning, and following the river the whole time. Whenever you're given the chance or the choice between walking in the city or following the river path, always follow the river path, of course. You get better views, you see the joggers running, and you get to be a little bit out in nature away from the industrial section. Now, after seeing that first attempt at a sign at the starting point, there's nothing out here. except until I got to this little park here after walking for like 2 hours. But no worries, because I have the GPS tracks and I will be leaving it for you guys, of course, in that description down below. I would also be leaving down there links to like my Instagram post from today, so you can see all the pictures that I've taken today and on every single day. I would also have there a ton of information, including the daily cost breakdowns and even more. So go ahead and check it out right now if you have the chance. If you're seeing this in maybe in Facebook, if I posted it in one of the groups, go ahead and open it in YouTube. You'll be thanking me later. So we left the Arno River behind and started climbing all the way up here to all these olive groves, which, you know, it changes up the stage. Right now I'm at the split between the original or old Camino and the new one that follows the river along the way. I've been seeing many signs, so not to worry. As you can see here, we have both the GR sign and the Camino di Francesco sign over here, which is the Tau symbol with an arrow pointing in the direction that you're supposed to follow. Beautiful day. The sun is blasting. As you guys know, I'm here in the Tuscan hills. It is warm, even though it gets cloudy every now and then. So a couple of pilgrims or hikers, I'm not sure which, coming in the opposite direction. So let's talk a little bit about the trip as a whole. As you guys know, I'm gonna be here for a month. I'm gonna be walking 26 days with 3 rest days. And you might say that the whole trip can be broken down into 4 distinct sections or stages. The first one, Florence to Santuario della Verna, which is the one that I am right now, the toughest section of them all. And from La Verna to Assisi, it is the most popular one. Assisi is the halfway point of the trip. Then from Assisi, we make our way to Rieti and finally the approach into Rome. 29 days, those 3 rest days, you know, I'm gonna use them as, you know, as I please, you might say. Definitely I'm gonna take a rest day in Assisi, and the other 2, I may use them to do like a Nero, or if there's a long stage, I can always break it down. I got time to play with. We are well past the halfway point. Let's finally make it into town and have lunch, because there's nothing up here, not even water. Well, it is day 1 and I already got lost. I mean, not really lost because I have the GPS tracks, but I got to a split on the road from my GPS tracks. I was getting into town thinking, all right, I'm gonna have something to eat here because, you know, I'm hungry. And that was the town of Scombioni. Of course, I was following the arrows, you know, as you're supposed to, and I noticed that it was taking me away from town, following these railroad tracks going up and up, and I kept seeing it, the town getting further away from me. And then like halfway up the hill, I realized that it was just taking me to ruins at the top of the hill, which I managed to go up there, of course, with the drone, get my shot, and then made my way down this variant, you might say, and reconnected with the Camino down here. No chance of having anything to eat, but luckily for me, I came prepared, because when I had breakfast this morning, I got something for the road, and it just came in handy. Where is it? Ooh, right here. I got some water, and that's gonna be my lunch. Today's gonna be longer than I anticipated, with a little bit of a climb, but it might just be the wake-up call or the warm-up for the days ahead. I'm in the town of Renai, where I finally had a proper lunch. I had a burger and a Fanta at a food truck in this parking lot here on my way out of town. It's already 1 p.m. and the temperature is like 80 degrees. The sun is blasting, and it's only gonna get warmer as the week progresses. I think it's gonna go as high as like 95 degrees at one point, but hopefully by then I'm at a higher elevation and under the cover of the canopy of the forest. So yeah, the final stretch into town. Let's go for it. Well, here we are using the umbrella for the first time on the trip, and if you've never used an umbrella, don't knock it until you try it, because it does bring the temperature down just a little bit. I'm using both my hat and the umbrella, which is the Gossamer, I guess walking umbrella, and it's just great. Look where I am, just vine fields as far as the eyes can see. Well, including the train down there that passes by every now and then. It is 2:20 in the afternoon, and I finally made it to Pontassieve, where I'm gonna be staying today at this B&B, Leonardo's room. Booked it on bookings.com a few days ago. And yeah, long day, 5+ hours, 22 kilometers. It's always longer than they say, but I did take that little variant, you might say. Time to check in, settle in, take a shower, wash my clothes. I'm gonna have to be washing my clothes every single day because I only brought 3 sets. So I had to save some space for all the gear that I brought along. So let's go ahead and check in. That is not a bad looking bridge, right? Pretty cool. I just got back from the supermarket where I went to get some supplies, especially for tomorrow, since there's really no support on tomorrow's stage. So I got some fruits for the way. I also got some cheese. What else? Some yogurt, maybe for breakfast. I might be having a few of those things today because I have to carry it on my back. And tomorrow it's just gonna be a steep climb all the way. I also have a couple of unboiled eggs or raw eggs that Sandy gave me in Lucas, which I haven't had a chance yet to boil them. So maybe when I get tomorrow to the burger where I'm staying. I think I'm gonna get some drone shots of that bridge right now. And as the sun sets over the Tuscan hills, I have to say that was a very successful day one on the Camino di Francesco, one of 29 days that I have planned ahead. Before I close today's vlog, of course, I have to thank all the trail angels that donate to my PayPal account and make this adventures possible. I also want to thank all the channel members. You guys are the backbone of my channel. You guys are the ones keeping me afloat. But today, there's a special thanks that I have to send, and it is to all my subscribers, all of you, all 15,000. Today we crossed that milestone. Yet another one that is this YouTube channel journey that I have embarked on over the last 5 years. So yes, I'm gonna call it a day. Tomorrow is gonna be another gorgeous day, another day where we're gonna be climbing 1,000 meters over like 20 kilometers. See you guys then.